Guys, welcome to Better Bachelor. My name is Joker with a face for radio and a voice for print. As I discussed, I am going to be expanding stories just a little bit, but this one still has to do a lot with men because Meta, Facebook, came out let's see, it was back in February, so what's that, almost 8 months ago, and I did a story on this. Meta came out and kind of insulted men and said that men were problematic. And what do you know, the stock started falling off, and then revenue slumped, and then stock kept falling off. And a lot of this started right around the same time as Facebook made this move into the metaverse. Well, who are the people that usually start adopting electronics and computers and games and VR headsets and everything else? It's usually guys that get into that space first. So when you're going to build your company around this new platform, and then you come out and specifically say men are problematic because they get a laugh out of goofing and trolling on people in this universe, and you say, well, we need them to go away. Well, guess what? They went away, and so did their joining your metaverse and doing other activities. So metaverse basically is turning into a little playground where, I don't know, adults at these high-tech companies can buy a bunch of VR headsets and sit around and have a board meeting in a virtual room. Who cares? That's boring and very expensive for a company to get into. And if you were looking at the gamer market, you've neutered it to the point where it's no fun. I mean, if you can't end somebody in a video game and then go over and teabag them for a laugh, guys are going to be out of this stuff. It was February 6th that I did this video. The metaverse will suck, but especially for men. And I covered this stuff. Maybe I'll see if I can link to the story or something up here in the corner if you want to watch it afterwards, or I'll link it at the end of the video or something. But the whole point is that guys were just kind of like, oh, okay, well, if you're not going to make this any fun, if you're going to tell me I'm a bad person because I want to goof and troll on people, I'm not going to be involved. Well, the toll is coming, is now being paid, or the toll has come due. And this is a post by Jim Cramer. He's an idiot on, I don't know, NBC or one of these talking head shows, and he's supposedly a professional stock trader. And this is from just a couple of days ago. The lack of respect for Meta is incredible. You know, he's one of those guys that goes out and he said on Goldman Sachs 2 weeks before they collapse, like, buy, this is a great deal. And then they collapse. And then he comes out and insults or says, oh, no one respects Meta, and they collapse the next day. I'm telling you, these talking heads on TV, you can call them boomers, you can call them whatever you want, but they're in it. He gets a paycheck to show up on that TV show. He's not a very good trader. It's obvious if you go look at his timeline and what he recommends and what actually falls off the cliff. But anyway, here's the image from Meta, and this is over the last 24 hours. It's fallen off 21.99%. These companies that are going woke, these companies that are pandering to these effeminate men and these women that are all upset and oh, men are problematic and we need to talk about this, they're paying the price, and they're paying it heavily now. And so literally in overnight trading, when the stock market was closed, people were putting in sell orders, and it was because of a bad fourth quarter revenue. But again, these companies are going to pay the price when the hard times are coming. And here they are, and they're going to have to do layoffs. So all these people that make fun of you for not having a degree and you're not a good catch for being a guy, or you're a loser because you only make $50,000 or $60,000 a year, maybe being a sanitation worker or a guy that works on a roof. They're the ones making fun of you. They're the ones that are going to be out of a job in another couple of weeks. And and on the cover of the thumbnail of this video, you can see that I put off a 20% fall, or excuse me, 70% fall. We're going to talk about that because that's how much it actually is over the past year. They say metaverse stocks plummet in 2022 is now a good time to buy. And this was back on March of this year. Well, I did my story on February because Meta had already fallen off 20 or 30%. Let me see how much if they say how much it's fallen off here in this. I think they said it had fallen off something like, yeah, it's down 21.77 since January 1st. So it was already down 20%. Then I did the story about them insulting men and saying that men are problematic in the multiverse, or in the metaverse, in the metaverse, and they continued to fall. So this is from today, 4 hours ago. Meta shares crater 24% after its earnings and revenue outlook missed targets. Let me zip this up, see if you guys can read it here. They say Meta shares 24%, opening bell, sales fell in the quarter. Meta gave a weak revenue forecast amid ad spending slowdown. Its metaverse-focused Reality Labs cost $3.7 billion, taking its total losses to this year to 9 billion. So yeah, you're making an environment where maybe people would like to come and play and have a good time and check it out, but they've neutered it and watered it down so much that no one's interested anymore. And why? To protect the softies and the woke and the people that are all worried about what's going on in these spaces. But here's the thing: people are bailing. People are bailing on Facebook. They're all heading over to TikTok. Some of them may be coming back to Twitter now that Elon just purchased it, which I think is great. But they say the same thing. Google parent Alphabet shares tumbled almost 10%. The analysis warned that a decline in its YouTube and Google network revenue pointed to more pain ahead. And why is YouTube and why is Google losing this money? Well, part of the reason why YouTube is, at least, and Google is filtering results. If you go and search for something, a lot of times they filter the results you get. And of course, it is only leaning one direction. So if people want an honest answer to something, they certainly can't go to Google anymore as their search engine. I mean, even DuckDuckGo is kind of sold out. It's getting to the point now where I'm going to have to start looking around for a different search engine. Because if I open my VPN and do a search on Google or DuckDuckGo, I get different results. Why are you tailoring the results for me? Because of where I live, or that you happen to know that I'm male or whatever. This kind of stuff is going to hurt them. And YouTube, same thing, because YouTube is removing content creators. They're giving people strikes for absolutely ridiculous things. And it's becoming harder and harder to talk about things here. And guess what? That means it's less fun. And when it's less fun, content creators are going to go somewhere else. It's why, like, Rakita Law got his third strike on his channel because of an argument he had with a transitioning person. Now he's over on Locals and pushing that really hard. Jeremy at The Quartering, he's kind of seeing what's going on, and he says, hey, you know what? I'm going to go over to a different platform. This is what's happening when you start, trying to neuter and soften everything of the world. And I know I'm using neuter a lot, but that's what you're literally doing. You're literally cutting the balls off of content creators, both figuratively, not literally, but figuratively, to where they can't talk about topics that people want to listen to. There's a reason why YouTube and other places are becoming more and more conservative. It's because they can't get the news on TV to tell them everything they need to know, so they're looking for alternative places. Well, if YouTube and Google and Meta and Facebook or whatever, and of course Twitter in the past, keep going down this path, of course they're going to bail and go somewhere else. So of course they're going to lose stock. But here's the last thing I kind of have on this. Or do I have one more? I have one more. Just a headline read. Mark Zuckerberg's pipe dream turns into a $588 billion nightmare. And this is from, again, the 27th, which is that today? Yeah, it's today. $600 billion. That's down 70%. That's where I got the thumbnail from, 70% in the last year. Keep in mind, this company was worth nearly $900 billion a year ago. It consistently ranked among the top 10, if not top 5 most important holdings. Now it's valued at just $293 billion, marking one of the most colossal fails in S&P 500 history. Even the epic crash of Enron cost investors less than $75 billion, and Meta is now only the 15th largest holding in the S&P 500 behind Chevron and Johnson & Johnson. And Meta's market value loss is rivaling those of Microsoft and Alphabet in the bear, despite companies being much larger. And they go on to say Meta's pain hurts everyone, whatever. No, it doesn't. It hurts people that have stock in these companies. But if you've seen the way the market is trending, you know these aren't companies. I mean, would anybody invest in Hollywood right now after She-Hulk came out, for HBO? Look at what Disney's putting out. Do you think anybody's going to be investing in them? Not if you're smart. Because if you go woke, you go broke. Get woke, go broke. There's a reason why that's an expression. And these companies are doing it, and they're starting to pay the price big time, to the point where they're gonna have their struggles. They're gonna have to abandon this project, which may have cost them $600 billion, and start over again. Your wallet matters when it comes to this stuff, guys. Now, I know you guys don't specifically say, well, I'm not going to be on Facebook because they said men are problematic in the metaverse. I get that. But the point is, these new technologies, these places, especially when they're around computer or entertainment, Marvel superhero movies, things like that, their majority wanted to be seen and viewed and used by men, because men remember those maybe from the comics when they were younger. What boy doesn't, tuck a towel around his neck and run around and want to be Superman someday? I don't know a whole lot of women that are into that, but that's the market they're catering to. And yeah, maybe they'll pick up 10% of women, but you're losing 40, 50, 60, 70% of men. Yeah, just a headline: Meta, Netflix, Zoom executives looking to exit as the stocks tank. Now, why is Meta? Why is Netflix? Same thing we've been talking about. And here's the year to date for Meta platforms, and they're now only worth $100 a share. Their IPO, I think, was something like $18. If I go to all time, let's see what their IPO was $30. Because it may be hard for you to see, but right here it's $29. They've only gone up 3 times in value since 2012, and at their peak they were all the way up here at almost 400, like $376. They're getting crushed. It's because they're all trying to chase the same thing: this inclusive diversity, intersectional feminist stuff that is going through everything is punishing these companies, and I'm glad to see it. And it will continue to do so until they come back to reality, or they realize that the main market that they're pushing down, shoving, insulting is a lot of guys, and a lot of guys spend money, and they're not spending their money with you anymore. So just remember that. But I think this is an interesting story. I look forward to seeing how these other companies go in with the hard times, and then as the layoffs come, and then as these people that make fun of us, accidentally flicked my, as these companies make fun of us for, not being college educated and being high earners and valuable men, they're going to be the ones that are begging. I don't doubt that some of these women are going to be like, I'm okay with working in a kitchen and maybe making a sandwich for a guy that'll take care of me. I think it's going to happen. Guys, in 2 days, Saturday night, I'm going to be having a movie double feature. I'm going to be streaming Young Frankenstein and Aliens over on Locals for supporters over there. So we're going to watch some movies, sip some beer, maybe have some pizza. And I've also got a couple of game servers up. One of them is right next to me here on my old laptop. I've got a Valheim server going. I'm still trying to configure a Rust server, which I'll try to do today, so we can go over there and game with other like-minded guys and have some fun. So if you're not a member over at betterbachelor.locals.com, it's free to join. It's free to become a member. You get like 90% of my content over there, plus bonus content. And if you're a supporter, you get a little additional as well. So come over and check it out today, and we'll see you in the next one.